I'm sitting here with Kathryn Danzey, who's the founder of Rejuvenated, who make absolutely amazing supplements, all geared towards the skin, really. Skin, well, bones and general well-being, but all the kinds of things we want to help us age really well, basically.
Yeah.
And their very newest product is female hormone support, which of course is much needed.
Yeah.
And I love this idea that there is a supplement that you can specifically take for this. I mean, then I personally went onto bioidentical hormones, which I'm still on, and but am, funnily enough, thinking of coming off. Because how long do you stay on these things for? And I don't think anyone really has the answer to that, because it's all quite new. It's all, you know, in the great scheme of things, you know, HRT, bioidentical hormones, is all pretty new, and we're all living a lot longer than we used to. So I actually think it's a very interesting topic, and I'm not sure doctors even have the answer to that. So what do you think, and why did you create this?
Well, do you know, it's an interesting one. I would agree with you. I think what we've got to remember is everybody's journey is so different.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
and I personally went through the menopause in my early 40s.
Did you?
Yeah, and I think
Naturally, or was there another reason for that?
I think potentially because I've been to, you know, obviously a conventional GP had said, well, that's just happened. But I went to another doctor who was sort of did more natural things and so on, and I had whiplash twice quite young.
Right.
And that can cause constrictions, that can stop things, you know, working in the same way.
Whiplash, and he thought maybe the whiplash.
Yeah, definitely.
Good grief. Yeah.
So it can also cause high blood pressure as well. So once he tweaked my neck around a few times, straightened me up, my blood pressure went back to normal. It was quite fascinating.
Absolutely
It was
amazing.
really incredible. So
and also, so when it comes to the menopause, you know, some people have very extreme symptoms, and they really suffer, and some people sail through it without a symptom.
yeah, definitely.
So who is this geared at, and at what stage is it geared?
Right, well, it's interesting because when we formulated it, or when we looked at it, I didn't want it to be just about menopause, because it's, you know, people can have problems with hormones from really quite a young age.
Absolutely.
So I wanted it to be more about just helping to promote healthy hormone balance and just to help balance things out. So it's amazing as well if people get really bad period pains, bad PMT.
Oh, interesting.
Like yeah.
So yes, so it could be used for teenagers as well. Or
do you know, well, we always say 18 before you start any of our products, and I would always advise somebody go to the doctor and check.
Right.
And because there's so much now that, you know, doctors are becoming more aware of, you know, as you say, about bioidentical hormones and so on, I would always say whatever you do in consultation with your doctor.
Absolutely. I mean, I've always done mine with a doctor. Yeah. Absolutely, yes.
So, and you know, and there's no one answer for everybody. So it's finding what works for you. And
yes.
As we know, diet is so important. And you know, if you're eating a lot of fast food, drinking a lot of alcohol, then I tend to think your journey through the menopause is going to be harder.
Exactly. Yes.
Sorry to say.
I know. You know, it's just everything always comes back to that, doesn't it?
You know,
the health. Well, actually, I don't think it's fair to say the healthier you are, because I mean, I do know some extremely healthy people who have had a rough ride.
Yeah.
Through that time of life, and it's what's absolutely astonishing is how the symptoms can vary from really achy joints,
yes, to
depression, to maybe just the odd hot flush, to sleeplessness. You know, just there are so many symptoms you can't actually even name them all, really, can you?
Definitely. So, and as you say, some people get them so dramatically. And what quite surprised me is 2 of the women that we work with, their periods were just so bad, and people don't talk about it.
No,
you know,
no.
You just get on with it. And they started it because we ran trials before we actually, which is
yes, and I know you always run trials and you work on these things for years before you launch
them.
them.
Suddenly they could sleep at night in the run up to the period and things like that. And they're saying, oh, I'm no longer getting sweaty the few days before.
Really?
My periods are much calmer. But you've never said anything. I didn't realise that you had such problems.
Yes, and it's sort of I think now it's quite a big topic, isn't it? So everybody is talking about it, which is great because women have always said to just sort of sit on it and not talk about it. People don't want to hear about it. Let's not talk about that. And at least now people are talking about it, which is great. So as it says here, it's a gentle formula. So I haven't tried this yet. And because I'm on bioidentical hormones, I sort of felt that maybe I didn't need to. But funnily enough, I am beginning to think of coming off them. And if not now, in the next few years, I'll see. I'm trying to do a little bit of research into it to see how long. But for someone who has a healthy lifestyle, say, who doesn't have very dramatic symptoms, who has, a little bit of night sweats or a bit of flushing or a bit of whatever, this could be, this could be a really good route to take, to try this first.
The wonderful feedback that we've had is really quite remarkable. People just saying that they can sleep now at night, they don't get the moods, they don't get as many hot flushes. But to some of them it's gone totally. But again, what amazed me, because we did a trial, we supply a lot of clinics, beauty clinics.
Right.
So initially we put the products into the beauty clinic to the owners and said, right, if you pick 3 customers that you think this is right for. And what surprised me was quite young girls that ran, some of them were quite young, that ran the clinics, were coming back and saying, I had such moods, I had such tension and stress, and I'm just not the same. They were not the people trialing it that I thought would be trialing it. Do you know what I mean?
Amazing, and they were getting a good result.
Getting fantastic results.
That's so interesting.
What we did was we then put it out because we have sort of we call it Team Rejuvenated.
Right.
Of our existing customers, if they want to sign up to ask for more questions and things like that, it's a special Facebook group for them. So then we put it out to them and said, who would like to trial this product? And again, the results were fantastic, but they were more the people that were going through the menopause and just starting to be perimenopause.
And what sort of results did they get?
Again, fantastic. It helped to even the moods out, help them to sleep, reduce the hot flushes and so on. We did have a couple of people. One person said that she found she got more spots. And one person, she said, I just don't, it doesn't do anything for me.
Right, so it didn't do anything for her. Yeah. Another person got spots.
Yeah.
Because that is another thing that also happens in midlife. It's something that didn't happen to me, but I have many friends who just started getting spots and they couldn't use any products. They had to be so careful of what they used, and it's not really what you expect in midlife, is it?
It's not, but it's sort of when we're sort of approaching the menopausal years, you very often get rosacea. So
right, yes, that's another big topic that I'm also really looking into at the moment.
Yeah, so many people, and I do. I get rosacea if I have, red wine. I really flush up.
Really?
So sadly, but it does help. I mean, we have other things that help calm that, but it will help with those sort of skin conditions as well.
What do you have that calms rosacea?
Rosacea, well, again, collagen shots is fantastic.
Oh, really? Collagen shots. So obviously, collagen is the number one thing we all need because it's the glue that holds everything together. But your collagen shots helps rosacea?
Go on, how would you pronounce it? A say or a shea berry? Or do you say acai berry?
I say acai berry.
Right, we'll go with acai berry then. So,
I have no idea if I'm right.
I don't know, because I trained, when we were in America, I trained some Brazilians and I think they said acai berry.
Oh, right.
So I thought, you probably know the proper way.
No,
so, excuse me. So, acai berry strengthens the capillaries.
Right.
And also there's...
so the acai berry is in the collagen shots?
Yes, yeah. And within the collagen, there's also amino acid peptides that actually strengthen the capillaries as well. So you get the capillaries are stronger so they can deal with rosacea better. and it helps to calm down.
Wow.
But we also have, sorry, you were ready to go again, skin perfecting complex, which specifically targets things like rosacea and eczema as well.
Wow. Okay, so we'll talk about those in another video, I think.
Yeah, excellent.
So I'm just looking at the ingredients here, because that's what I always do. So suma root powder.
Yeah. So it's all
hemp protein.
Yeah.
Reishi powder. So that's
from mushrooms.
Yes, that's a very powerful thing. With I know it has incredible benefits.
It helps smooth particularly.
Yes, and you've got some B vitamins in here and red clover. So all natural stuff, obviously.
Yeah,
well, if you're on HRT or bioidentical hormones, you don't need to take this, do you? So I would say this is for people who aren't on HRT, who have come off HRT or don't want to go on it and would rather find an easier route.
The thing. We had so many customers getting in touch, said, please, will you do something? A lot of people don't want to do, even if it's bioidentical.
Well, which I do. I know, because there is controversy about HRT, and I think bioidenticals are also not completely understood, and I think there are a lot of misconceptions about that, and I won't go into it right now, but I can perfectly understand. So really it was by customer demand that you created this, and I totally get that. And it's so much easier just to take something like this, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And they've had great results.
Yeah, we're really thrilled.
And when the people who've had one last question, the people who've had the good results, are they people who tend to have very mild symptoms, or have there even been results with people who have more intense symptoms?
It's been across the board. Some people are sick. What we did was we actually put in sheets so that people filled them in and sent out stamped addressed envelopes, so there was more chance of getting them by.
Right.
And as I said, I was just sad to see the symptoms that people were putting up with, because some of them did have quite dramatic symptoms. So we've done a whole series on blogs to support people and just give them more information.
Right, great. And this was helpful to most of the people who tried it?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, well that's great. And so I'm sure I will try this at some stage, and when I do, I will let you all know how I do.
Be curious. Because I'm at the same stage as you.
Yes.
I've been on bioidentical hormones probably for about 5 years now.
Yes.
So I was late starting them.
Yeah.
Loved it. Be quite honest, I love the benefits.
Yes.
But I'm thinking, I'm 65 now.
Yeah, and wondering what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because how long do you stay? And I don't think there's any doctor who can actually give you a definitive answer, because I don't think they do know. So you agree with me? Because I've been thinking this. I said I was thinking, I don't think doctors know. Yeah.
Well, bioidentical hormones themselves are, they are so new.
Yeah.
And when I went to see the doctor that I did, because as I say, I went through the menopause 15 years earlier, she said, why did you leave it so long?
Yes.
I said, well, I was scared to try something.
Yeah.
But I feel I need something.
Yes.
So where's the test dummies?
We're the test dummies, yeah. Well, no, I do like bioidentical hormones. They certainly work for me anyway. And yes, and I think this is great, and I think a lot of people watching this are going to be very interested and will find this very useful. And if you do try it, let us know how you get on.
We'd love to hear.